Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics, presented by Pepsi. I'm Jenna Davison, and today on the show we're going to be talking athletic performance with head coach Joey Hannett. And on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking to Associate Director of Athletics Patrick Stirk. But first, we're joined by Coach Hannett. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we've had you on the show in the past, but for those viewers that don't know who you are, what's your title and some of the responsibilities within the athletic department?
My title is Director of Athletic Performance. I am directly responsible for, I have an assistant, a graduate assistant, undergraduate assistant, several student interns. Our department is responsible for the total training needs of all of our student athletes at UNCP.
Well, your office recently changed its branding from strength and conditioning to athletic performance. What were the reasons for the change, and what are some of the other areas your department covers now that it hasn't before?
Yeah, before this past year we were called strength and conditioning. Most people have heard of that. Strength and conditioning means, we're training our athletes for the rigors of their sport. So whether that involves strength, speed, flexibility, mobility, conditioning, obviously all those are different for each sport. Sat down and talked with Athletic Director Dick Christie. Wanted to revamp the department, kind of show that we were a little bit more advanced. We were offering more. We talked to the kids about nutrition, recovery. So if we got a basketball player that's playing Wednesday and then they're playing again on Friday, what are we doing in between to get the kids back healthy and ready to go? And on the flip side of that, for recruiting purposes, we're in the Peach Belt Conference. 14 of our sports participate in the Peach Belt Conference. There's not very many other schools in our conference that have this department. So we really want to highlight that and show that if we have a recruit come on campus and they're trying to decide between School A and School B, well, we want to say, hey, we have this, we think this is important, we've put money, we have a full-time staff that is willing to work with you and get you better at your sport. I think that's something really great that UNCP can offer.
Well, what is a typical day like for you? When does it begin? What time does it end? And what are some of the other things that you accomplish during your workday?
Pretty early in the morning. Monday through Friday, alarm usually goes off between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. Usually in the office between 5 and 5:30. Most of our workouts in the morning start at 6 or 6:15. So obviously we need to be there before that, setting up, getting everything ready. We'll usually be here until minimum 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes later. Tonight we have football practice starting at 7:30, so we'll be here, warming the guys up, stuff like that. Throughout the day we have a little bit of downtime. I teach as well, so a couple of days I have to do that. But a lot of our job is preparation and planning. A lot of people think that, all right, we're just going to go in the weight room and just lift and do whatever. Well, we have to take into consideration the NCAA only gives us so many hours. So, for instance, the football team in January, we have 100 kids. If we want to try to get them all into the weight room, we have to do it in different groups. Well, if we only have a set number of time and we want to do X number of exercises, how much time in between is it going to take for 4 kids to go through a set of squats? We have to map that out and say, all right, well, this is going to take us 20 minutes or this is going to take us 30. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to go in there and say, all right, we're going to do this, and then we only end up getting one thing done. So we have to plan everything out. We sit down with the coaches and say, here's what we want to do, here's what we think we can do, let's break them up into this many groups and stuff like that. So it's really, a lot of it has to do with planning. It's not the actual, the act of running a conditioning session or lifting or stuff like that.
Well, you mentioned this in the first question, but you brought on 3 newcomers to your staff, including your assistant Ryan Boutwell and Hawk assistants Josh Gooding and Megan Hillard. Tell us about them and the experience they bring to your department.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 3. I'm very fortunate to have all 3 of these individuals on my staff. Josh Gooding and Megan Hillard are student athletes, were student athletes at UNCP. Josh was, Megan's still playing softball. So that's really beneficial in the fact that they know UNCP, they know how things work here, they know the weight room, they know the lay of the land. They can help me out if we have issues with students, what's going on. I can kind of go to them and see what's going on. Ryan Boutwell came from the University of North Texas, played football there, went through a very good strength and conditioning program, so he knows what it's like to go through this. So all 3 of them had playing experience in college. And that really helps whenever you're, on the flip side now, you're trying to coach, you're trying to, implement what we're trying to do. You can understand what the kids are going through.
Well, your job isn't just confined to the school year. Talk about the importance of summer workouts, particularly for your fall student athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just our fall sports, but everybody. I mean, anybody in general. If you want to get in shape, you want to get stronger, you want to lose weight, whatever you want to do, it has to be a habit, and you have to train it all year round. You can't just train for 2 months and then just hope that you will continue to do that, or hope that you will still have that. You know, the saying, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. You can lift for 2 months and get as strong as you possibly can, but if you don't do anything for the next 10 months, you don't run, you're not going to have the same benefits from that. In particular, our fall sports, when they come in, you know, they have to be ready to go from the get-go. So it is very, very important that over the summer, they do the summer workouts that we give them. We can't mandate that they show up for workouts, so we give them a summer workout. And it's very important that they, you know, obviously they do that. So then when they come in, they're ready to go, because some of them play within, you know, compete within a week or 2 weeks of being on campus.
All right. Well, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking to Coach Hannett, so stay tuned.